Alright guys, and welcome to another video of John Kelly Does Fitness. Today, with special episodes, it's all about Jack. Everyone's been asking, who is he? Basically we're just going to get to know Jack a little bit more. So yeah, Jack, what's the background? Tell us your story.
Alright, hi everybody. I'm sorry I didn't use the first episode to introduce myself. I never really introduced myself at all.
Someone for me to be.
Yeah, someone for him to be. And I'm actually the translator for his videos now. Because sometimes you can't understand whatever he's trying to say, so I'm here to help you understand him a bit more.
Absolute racist.
No, but on a serious note, my name is Shahir Jack Ezekiel, and I was a national rower for a couple of years, and then I retired in 2018. And here I am in Pulse Lab as one of the rower coaches, and I also manage their marketing department, and that's where we build a partnership together with you. Different people have different definitions of fitness, and that's what we want to do. And John Kelly Does Fitness. Yeah, so what's going to happen today is I'm going to just cover a little bit of basics and how to roll. And then at the end of the basic session, I'm going to make him do a short time trial. It's a 2,000 meter time trial. It's kind of like a standardization trial actually for your rower. Yeah, we raised the 2,000 meter regatta. So that's why it's a 2,000 meter time trial.
To be honest, when I looked into research and the challenges that we'll do, 2K Row came up as the top 10 hardest challenges to go and do. So immediately, 2K time trial went straight into our list of challenges.
Yeah, I mean 2K, it really depends on how much effort you want to put into 2K, right? You can just do it really slowly, it won't hurt you. But you really want to go as efficient as possible throughout the whole 2,000 meters and not die out in the first half. It's both like a sprint as well as an endurance race. And that's why it's challenging.
For a 2K TT, what is a good time? What's the lead time? What's someone that's not a rower but someone like me that thinks they're fit?
I think it's not fair to give you like a targeted time like that. I think because you do have to train for it. You can't just say that you want to do 2K time trial and then you want to hit a sub 7 and then you eventually hit a sub 7. I think it needs a lot of practice. Maybe timing between 7 to 7:15 will be something that you want to work with. I won't stop you from trying to go sub 7, but that will take a lot more time for you to show.
So someone that's never rowed, someone that's got a basic level
but
of
for
fitness.
someone that has never rowed but have some form of fitness or endurance, maybe sub 8 or something like that.
Jack's going to give us an introduction to some of the rowing techniques, right? So we'll catch you in a bit.
So what's going to happen today is I'm going to talk about 4 basic things that you need to know when you're on the rowing machine. The first one are your points of contact. Number 2, we're going to talk about the stationary points and the motions of rowing. Number 3, we're going to talk about the drag factor and then the resistance of the machine. And number 4, we're going to talk about the full skirt. Okay, so let's start with the points of contact. As you can see here, we have the seat, the foot strap, as well as the handle, right? So when you take a seat, just make sure that your butt is comfortably nestled on the depression part of the seat and not all the way to the back, because that's really uncomfortable, right? Okay, next, place your heel on the heel partition right here. There's this little flap over here. It's for you to adjust the height of your feet. So the rule of thumb of where the strap should go is just underneath your great toe. So if your great toe is here, just about 1 finger lower than that, that's where your strap should go. Okay, so that's your second point of contact. Your third point of contact is obviously the handlebar. A lot of people will start off rowing with their hands very close to the handlebar, to each other I mean, and they always grasp the handle. So what I encourage people to do is to hold further apart, because this will activate more back muscles rather than your triceps. Okay, so this is the tricep pull, and this is where your lats are being engaged when you are ready to pull. Okay, secondly, you want to make sure that you're cradling the handlebar rather than grasping it, because this will break the line, the straight line between your wrists all the way up to your shoulders. Then that's bad. Okay, what you want to do is to make sure that the point of contact on your hands up to your shoulders is a straight line, as you can see. Alright, so that's the first part that I told you that I was going to share, your points of contact. So you've got the ass, you've got the feet, and you've got your hands. Next, I'm going to share with you the 2 stationary points and 2 motions of rowing. So where I am right now is called the catch. Catch is when your knees are bent and your arms are straight and your body leaning forward. Okay, in this position, you should be ready to blast off with your legs first. Okay, so this is the first stationary point, and it's called the catch. The next stationary point is called the finish. It's the total opposite from the catch. It's when your knees are straight and your arms are bent. In this position, your core is engaged, your back's pulled up tall, sitting tall, and you're ready to go back to the catch. Alright, so from the catch, right, to the finish, it's called a drive. Alright, the drive's sequence is legs, back, hands. And then from the finish back to the catch is called the recovery. The sequence is the reverse, hands, back, and legs. The recovery should be in a sequence whereby you are releasing your hands first and leaning the body forward, because you want to make sure that your hands passes by your knees first. If, let's say, you start moving your legs and you have to go to the catch, this happens. And this is very inefficient, and you don't want to add more power or more energy to overcome the knees that's blocking your hands. Okay, so the sequence of the finish is hands, back, and legs. So we've got the legs, back, hands, and hands, back, legs. And that's these are the stationary points and the motions of rowing. So drag factor is basically a measurement for resistance for the machine. A lot of people don't know about this, and it's I believe my responsibility to share a little bit more about what a drag factor is. You can see here that there's a lever here, right, by the side of the machine. People think that, you know, if you row at temper 10, you're fucking strong. I'm sorry, you're very strong.
We're fine with swear words.
And if you're at number 1, you're not so strong. But the damper doesn't really give you a real measurement of the machine's resistance. What you want to think about is to measure the drag factor. I'm going to put my damper at level 6. A number will appear, and it's at 132 or 133, right? The bigger the number, the more drag or more resistance you'll feel. So let's just put it down to 1. A lower drag factor, it feels lighter, and the number decreases. So now I'm going to go all the way up to number 10 and look at the drag factor. It changes to another number. Okay, the science behind drag factor is simple. Basically, there's a wind vane by the side of the machine. If you put the lever down, there's a lot more air that goes through the machine. Therefore, the wind turbine can run on its own, right? And if you bring the damper up to level 10, it closes the wind vane, causing lesser air to go in, and the turbine will decelerate at a slower rate. So this is called the force curve. What you will see when I row will be a curve on this graph. Okay, what it really shows is the acceleration that's being powered through your rowing motion. Okay, so this is a good example of a good force curve, because it's a gentle sloping curve from the start of the row to the end. The other thing that the force curve shows are two input points whereby a normal person will row, where they will add in a bit more power in the upper body, and this is how it looks like. So you're adding the power in the legs, and then an extra yank in the hands, and this is really very bad. So you see how people think that adding the upper body strength is good, but it's not, right? It's making me extra tired, but it's not being efficient at all. So what you want to think about is adopting a rowing motion whereby the drive is done really smoothly, alright, without any interruptions during the drive.
Oh, beautiful curve.
Yeah. Thank you. So that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot more to whatever I've shared today. There are many schools of thought with regard to, you know, the rowing technique, and this is really just my personal sharing from the years of experience that I have in the sport. Alright, back to you, JK. Let's go. Power it up, let's go. I want to see 150, 144, let's go. Yes, that's right. Last stroke, strong one. And we're done.
That was a nice one.
Maybe
7 minutes.
Sorry?
You can do 7.
You can do 7? You know it took me how many years to bring down below 7? So, thank you for joining me in a special episode to talk a little bit more about indoor rowing and rowing. John Kelly just finished his 2K time trial. And time of 7:22.7, 7:227, palindrome. Boys, good job, bro.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, so if you want to try out the 2K time trial, if you go to any gym, you can find an indoor rower and just sit down there and adjust your trifecta and finish off your 2K. And let us know in the comment section below what your timing is, or if you have any tips to share with John Kelly on how you can row better, or me for the matter, because learning never stops. Let me know.
Yeah.
And if you like this video, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video.
Yeah. Summed it up, let me say. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Hi guys, I'm home. I've recovered from that brutal challenge from earlier. I just want to do a quick summary on the 4 main points that Jack talked about earlier and why that's super important. So firstly, there was like the setup or the touch points. Before you even get onto any kind of technique, it's always so important to make sure the foundations are there. So that's what that's going to do. And then secondly, it is the rowing technique or the stroke. So why it's really important that you nail on this is because it's going to make you more efficient, and if you are more efficient, that's going to improve your splits and it's going to lower that time on whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a 2K time trial, a sprint, or even an endurance based row. So technique is super important. It's going to make you more efficient and you're not going to be wasting and burning energy unnecessarily, and you're going to be keeping the forces up and improving those times. So thirdly is the drag factor. It's something I hadn't heard of before, and so I started training with the guys at Pulse Lab. We all know the damper lever setting on the rowers from like 0 or 1 up to 10. I just would kind of go and set that to any kind of resistance. Why the drag factor is important is because it doesn't matter what rower you jump on, you set the drag factor to 120 and it means you will always have a consistent resistance, okay? So that's what's super important, definitely for training and when you're going into a challenge, making sure that your drag factor is set. So don't necessarily worry about the damper lever on it, worry more about the drag factor setting. Finally, the fourth one I think is more ideal for beginners. Something that helped me was the force curve, and that basically meant that I was getting into the right rhythm, and then getting into the right rhythm got me into a flow. Made me more kind of consistent with my rowing, and that then made me a little bit more efficient. So that was something that I just found got me more into that, and it also helped them with my stroke rates, making sure that everything was staying consistent, because every stroke matters when it comes to timing. Okay, so finally a little bit on today's row. I'm not gonna lie, I did a leg session a couple of days ago. My legs were ruined. I could barely stand up from being sat down, so expectations weren't high. I would have liked a sub 7, didn't get it. I got 7:22, so I'll take it from a first row. I think I've rowed about like 5 to 10 times before, so definitely something new and a lot to kind of do. I am going to work a bit more now on technique and just kind of general rowing, and then kind of revisit this and see what I can get. If I can hit a sub 7, great. And then if not, I am going to do specific training for a 2K row to really go and crush that time. And we will be doing a video on that. So a little bit more intermediate to advanced level. So stay tuned for that. I hope you liked the video. I hope it's inspired you to get on the rowing machine and give this a go. I hope it's been insightful with some of the information. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Lots more content coming soon. And I will see you guys very, very soon.